Today, I am going to explain the story of episode 8 of season 1 of Mayfair Witches. If you haven't seen the previous 7 episodes, then the link will be found in the description. At the beginning of the episode, Rowan follows Keith into the woods. But Lasher interrupts her and tells her to give him the command since she has summoned him. Rowan gives the order, and it is only a matter of time before Keith is burned alive in the cottage where he hides. Rowan faints from the loss of blood and the shock of the situation. Jojo learns about Rowan and informs Cortland about Tessa's death. Cortland thinks Rowan will be there too, but Jojo tells that she has run away. He wants to know about Rowan, but Jojo doesn't understand why her father is so obsessed with Rowan. She asks him to tell the truth, but Cortland does not tell anything. Cortland talks to Albert about Rowan. Then he comes and talks to Ciprien. Ciprien apologizes for not being able to help him fully, and he wants to read his mind by saying that he will do as he says. Ciprien has figured out that Albert has the power to erase one's memories. He asks him not to erase his memories because he needs them to play his part in the prophecy. Rowan is having his child and he has to be with her in the end. Albert let him go with his man. Rowan, on the other hand, wakes up and feels all the creatures around her. Lasher tells about Keith's death. Rowan starts laughing and she feels like she is about to die. She has lost a lot of blood. Lasher wants her to look deep inside her wound. Through her memories, she reaches a place that Lasher tells her is where her ancestors were. She finds some writing, which Lasher tells her is his language, and Rowan asks to learn it. He leads her to Suzanne's old cottage, which has many markings in Lasher's language. Rowan comes to know that Suzanne was a midwife, and she made a pact with Lasher. Everything written on the walls is her knowledge that she has left for Rowan. With her witchy powers, Rowan learns the language instantly and heals her wounds. She now has the powers of Lasher, and in her happiness, she chooses to be with him. Lasher is delighted with this thing. Rowan has also learned to light a fire with her hands. Lasher tells Rowan that she is destined to do great things. Rowan gets excited by Lasher's touch. He kisses her hands. Rowan kisses him, then they become intimate. They stay in this world for a long time. But Rowan still faints in the real world. Meanwhile, Odette is looking for her brother and finds Talamasca's contact number. She calls there and asks about Ciprien, but there's nobody there by that name. The receptionist disconnects the call and conveys the message to Albert. Ciprien goes to meet Cortland, and while waiting for him, he takes a look at some of his things. When he finds the mask from the masquerade ball that Deirdre attended all those years ago, he realizes that Cortland is Rowan's father, and he has killed the boy that everyone thought Deirdre had slept with. He tells this to Jojo, who cannot believe that her father would do such a thing. She connects the dots when she realizes that he gave Deirdre her gown when she came to the party all those years ago. She had come for his help, but he had deflected her. Meanwhile, Albert and Arjuna arrive at Odette's house. Arjuna asked her, "Have you just given birth?" Odette asks him about Ciprien. Albert says he is fine. "I was with him earlier." Then he starts erasing Odette's memories with his own hands. Rowan wakes up and reads the rest of the things in that room. She searches for Lasher. He does not come even when called. That's when her stomach starts growing. She hears Lasher's voice telling her that he will meet her at the witching hour. Then that room starts getting destroyed. Rowan comes from there to another room where her second ancestor is seen with a clock. 1 o'clock is shown on the clock. Then that room also starts getting destroyed, so Rowan comes to another room. There she also finds her ancestor standing with a clock. This clock shows the time 7 o'clock. Rowan asks Lasher to tell me what all these things mean. Then that room also starts getting destroyed, so she moves to another room. 9 o'clock is shown on the clock in this room. While Rowan is in her memories, her body is still lying unconscious in the forest. Cortland finds her and takes her to the mausoleum to get her cleaned up and ready for delivery. Meanwhile, Jojo takes Ciprien to the doll made from the bones of their ancestors. When he touches it, he comes to know of the prophecy that Lasher will come back as the most powerful supernatural being at the witching hour over the bones of his ancestors. Ciprien and Jojo understand that this must mean the mausoleum and head there, but not before coming to know that the pregnancy of the 13th witch would be in hours and not months. The clock in the next room is showing 11 o'clock. Rowan finally reaches her mother Deirdre. She is the 12th witch and 12 o'clock is seen on her clock. She touches Rowan, telling her Lasher is coming. She understands that Lasher is in her womb. When she wakes up and finds herself at the mausoleum, she sees Suzanne as a spirit ready to help her with the delivery. Rowan realizes that she is in the doorway and that her child is going to be Lasher. Rowan gives birth with Suzanne's help, but when she sees her baby's head contort, she gets scared and tries to run. However, this is not a normal baby, and Rowan is not an ordinary mother. But when Albert learns that Rowan has given birth, he checks with Arjuna whether Odette is lactating since she has recently delivered a child. They take her with them. The child, who is barely a few minutes old, comes crawling to her. Rowan moves towards him, but Cortland is also there. He wants to raise the child, because he believes that he is the only one with the strength to harness his power. Rowan tries to kill him, but finds that he has been granted immortality by Lasher in return for helping him. But Rowan is determined, and she tells Cortland that she knows what he did to her mother. She can't kill him, but she turns him into stone, to be left in the mausoleum and forgotten eventually. When Rowan comes out of the mausoleum carrying her baby, she finds Ciprien. But Rowan realizes immediately that he would not be safe for her child. She strikes down there. Ciprien thinks Lasher is making her do this. But Rowan is doing this of her own free will, and she cannot lose her child like her mother. She leaves there laughing. And with this, season 1 ends here. Do let me know in the comments section how did you like the Mayfair series. If you like this video, then please like it. Subscribe to this channel as well. And if you like my work, then you can support me by donating on Thanks for watching.